What's the deal, YouTube? So, this is going to be kind of a, like how I started that with a little bit of music there, and that's sort of to prove my point. I don't think Jrock's a racist, for one thing. He had to join a fucking white gang in Arizona, because that's how they roll down there in Arizona and California. You gotta pick and choose, unfortunately. That's sort of part of my speech today, is that shit. This whole racism shit is to keep us divided, right? So what am I supposed to say? My favorite group is N-word with attitudes. Is that what it? It's not going to happen, right? But then, I mean, I don't really have a reason to go throw the word around either. I don't in my real life. I mean, I'll use it as a term of endearment, like, hey, my nigga, to a friend of mine that calls me that. But in general, that's probably the only example I really use it. But just my point is that word, it's words, English, especially English language, it's magical, right? And that word has a bad negative connotation to it from the beginning. So, and I think the reason it's used in rap music and it's used in videos and why black people are saying it so much and trying to take it back or whatever, it's because it's part of this tool to divide, and that's what's happening. They're trying to divide us through all these little things: red, blue, black, white, gay, straight, everything. It's all division, right? All division. So the more we're fighting with each other about this petty shit, that's really bullshit. I mean, it's really fucked up. The less we get a chance to kind of think and see what's going on. So, I don't think Jrock is racist. I'm kind of talking about both things here, but I think he's a cat that went in to, he's a young kid, he went in, and then he also became proud of his race, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially for a white person, because that's really frowned upon nowadays. Like, if you're white, like, okay, for instance, they have these hats down at the C-Bus down there that say Native Pride on them, right? And then there's like Gay Pride. But if somebody was to wear a hat that said White Pride, it wouldn't fly. You know what I mean? Like you see, there's this hypocritical shit. And then people go, okay, yeah, well, fucking this happened back then, and so we're saying the word now because we're taking it back and this happened to us. But every fucking race got fucked over by these elites. I mean, every race has had a couple decades of genocide. Every race. Every race. I mean, World War II was white genocide. World War I and II. And you can't say it wasn't. And look at what happened to all the natives, man. They literally had their genetic gene pool fucking mutilated through alcohol and smallpox. Their land all taken away, and there's a big pipeline thing going on right now, and like half the natives are like, yeah, we want it, and the other half is like, well, the promise of prosperity they're gonna give us. Well, every fucking time the white man comes and promises prosperity, they never fucking guarantee it. Nothing. I mean, just like, for instance, on my wife's land, they killed her grandma's cow, Cian, and all her grandma wanted was them to pay for the cow, and it ended up a big court battle and this and that, which it should have been, but they still got fucked over. Every native got a small fucking check for fuck all, and now there's this train track that runs through their land, constantly blowing this fucking horn every night. When I was out there, I saw it, and I saw the look on my wife's face every time that train went by the land, and she just made it cringe. So this whole, we're under attack. We are, and we always have been by people or entities or whatever, but in a club, but we're not invited. You know, these us little guys here on these YouTube channels aren't invited, and you know, we get we get we get like convenient distractions put in front of us, right? And that's like, for instance, that's this boxing thing going on with Jrock and K-Frog. Well, see, K-Frog got all up in his feelings about trolls, which ultimately grow your channel, you know, but he couldn't deal with it, so he's got out, and it was a mistake. Jrock got trolled by a fake account and reacted, and then somehow they get involved and start screaming at each other, and because they're in their emotions, and then they're both in YouTube, you know, now they're divided, right? They both were fucking with each other before. So it's just, I mean, it's just kind of I'm just sort of peeping game here, guys, and I hope you deal with it. And I am clickbaiting the title, so I don't give a fuck. But, yeah, man, like, you know, we gotta do less of this fighting. You know what I mean? We gotta do less of this anger and shit, or direct this anger where it should go. You know, not at each other, not because, you know, we're not the problem. The problem's been, it's right in front of us, man. Like, anyways.